Hey guys, Jay here, and welcome to my review for Kumoricon 2017. So before we begin, just like all the other reviews, there is going to also be a video that comes out at the exact same time. That is my merch and con haul, all of that other stuff that I buy, that kind of thing. So if you want to get to that video, you can click the card right there in the top right corner. Alright, so Kumoricon 2017. Last year was pretty good. This year was a little less good. So just bear with me here because this review is going to be a little odd. Most of it was good though, but there was just a little tiny bit. Like, here's 2016, here's 2017. That's literally it. It was really good other than one thing. So I'm going to tell you about that one thing. One of the main things that I go to conventions for is the autographs from the guests that show up. So like the voice actors and stuff, like mostly voice actors. So, but you guys have probably seen that in my con haul videos where I show you what I got autographed. Well, in this one, I only showed you one because I only got one and I didn't even get it. Somebody else got it for me. So here's the problem. I have a couple shots of what the area kind of looks like. So I'll put that up. But you can see in the far back behind everybody, there's like a blue barricade wall type thing. It looks like a fabric thing. That's what it is. It goes all the way down the corridor. So it makes like a hallway almost, even though it's not a hallway. And then there's the white wall going all the way down. So that is where you line up for autographs. And well, you go in there for autographs and then you line up at where you can see all the people in the pictures. I was very careful not to take pictures of any of the guests. The person at the desk is, I believe, Josh Greeley's agent, if I'm correct. It has to do with Josh Greeley, but I think it's his agent, the one who takes like money for when you want to buy something at their table to get signed, like a print or something that they have. That guy, that's who's in the picture at the table, so it's not one of the actual guests. But I was told I'm not allowed to take pictures of the guests. I made sure, whatever. So anyway, that corridor there, though, you can see that it's pretty large. You can at least fit maybe 20 to 30 people side by side right there. And so we lined up a little bit early, but we all kind of waited in that area. And we're making two lines along those two walls, making sure to keep the center open. There was a few dumbasses who were standing in the center, most of which were talking to a staff member, the person who was managing the lines, like asking them questions. And they were they were yelling back at them to go away, basically. Like, they're trying to ask questions. Don't tell them to go away. They're not blocking traffic. They're asking a question that they're going to leave. It's that simple. Just answer the question and they won't be blocking traffic. It's not hard, but we weren't in the way. We kept the corridor so that it wasn't a fire hazard. We made specifically sure it wasn't a fire hazard. And then they told us to all back up and go away, and they pushed us basically into a fire hazard, which made no sense. And it was just horrible, and they just kept complaining and complaining. And then we were like, okay, well, we're trying to follow the rules here. We're trying not to line up anymore. We're trying to, be somewhere near the area, but the only place in the area is right next to the doors for the dealer's hall, because that's where it was, right outside that hallway area. And to the right of where I was the artist alley and the dealer's hall. So it was pretty bad. There's nowhere to go. We have to go outside the doors and we wouldn't be able to see anything. There's nowhere to go. What did you expect them to do? They have to be somewhere in the area so they know where the line's going to start. So they can hear when the line's going to start. You can't make them go outside of the room and then be in the room and say, okay, line's starting, because no one's going to come because they won't be able to hear you. So they have to be in the room somewhere. Maybe next year they should put it somewhere else. Somewhere where people can actually wait. And you can see a giant opening behind all the lines. That whole area was clear. There was nobody in there. So people could wait there. It's not a big deal. Just let them wait there. They're not in line. They're waiting to get in line. On top of that, they started capping the lines super early. So I heard, and it's been pretty much confirmed by multiple people, the Jeremy Lee line actually got capped 6 minutes into the line start, because the line's supposed to start 30 minutes early, and so you're not supposed to line up any sooner than that. So 30 minutes prior to the session, you start lining up. Well, apparently the line was already filled within 6 minutes. And that was at the exact same time as Vic Mignogna, who was going to have 3-4 times as many as she would. Because everyone's going to go there to see him because he's the more popular one. Well, both of them were capped. And we were like, well, that's weird, you know? It was 6 minutes in and they were capped. So we went in a little bit late and they were already, you know, obviously, because that's just what's going to happen. We had like 10 minutes or something until the session started. And obviously it's going to be full by then, but whatever. But apparently other people were saying it only took 5-6 minutes before it got capped, which is terrible because that means that, and somebody else was saying that the line was starting an hour early, which is against the rules. They were bitching at us and the Todd line for doing that exact same thing just a little bit earlier in the day, just a couple hours earlier in the day. They were yelling at us for doing that exact same thing, and then they did it for her line, and it was totally cool. So we don't even know anymore. The staff is really bad this year for that, the line management staff. So I don't really know what to do there, but whatever. So back to the Todd signature thing. We were in line and we got finally up to where the line was going to start. They started pushing everybody back a little bit to get into smaller lines, which meant we got pushed back really far because when there's like 7-8 people off to the side that all push in, they all get in front of you now. So regardless of where you were. So we get up there and they're like, well, we have to cap it at 70. Which, first off, 70 out of, like, what, 10,000 people there? That's all that's going to get in that line? Okay, that's not cool, but okay. You have an hour and a half. The reason it takes so long for them to get through the lines is because Vic and Todd don't shut up. They like to sit there and talk to you for 10, 20 minutes and just waste everybody's time. And then get mad, and then, like, people get mad that it didn't finish, and then they're like, well, you should have got here earlier. And that was the worst part, is they blamed me for what happened, which is beyond stupid. So I get up there with Atlas and my other friend, Wanderer Bailey Cosplay. And it's just us three, and they're like, well, we can get 2 more people in. Okay, fine. Atlas had 2 things, and Wanderer Bailey had 1 thing, and I had 1 thing. They said, well, you get 2 things per person signed. You can get 2 items signed, but there's 70 people. So we can only take 2 more of you. There's 68 right now. So I gave Wanderer Bailey the anime that I wanted him to sign. And so they're like, well, everybody else has to leave. So let's say here's the whole line. Like, this is the first half of the line. This is the second half of the line. Let's put it that way. All the people in the first half of the line, they started slowly taking them away and telling them to go away until it finally got down to like half the line, and all these people were very slowly told to leave. And then they learned, oh, well, if we do 1 item per person, which is what Todd was supposed to be having done, which was his policy, then you can let more people in. So they let double the amount of people in. And so now all the people who were in line that had to go because they were told to leave, even though we should get priority, because we were the ones in line. So now all the people behind us, the second half of the line, got to go in, and we're pretty much screwed. And we're like, well, I was in line. You kicked me out of line for nothing, and then let other people back in. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. But that really pissed me off. And then when we complained about it online on the Facebook page, they blamed us. Like it was our fault. You didn't get there in the front of the line, so it's your fault. Too bad. They don't care about the attendees. It's the attendees' fault. So that's the only bad thing that happened. Everything else was really good. And actually, things were moved a little bit. And we got to go on the other side of the convention center that wasn't really being used before. Because there was rooms over there. They're like the place, the dealer's hall and artist alley and stuff was this year was not the same as last year. So it was on the complete other side of the building. And because there was nothing over there, not a lot of people stayed over there. So we stayed on the other side, on the side that now has registration. So we got to go back and forth a lot more this time, which was amazing. We liked that a lot better. And I actually learned there is another cafe there, another restaurant thing. So last year I talked about this little bistro place. Still don't remember the name of it. Don't really care. But it's a really good place to eat. I actually ate there on Sunday before we left. So their fries are really good, and they have Pepsi. And that's my drink. So I don't like Coke products, so I drink Pepsi. So, but I ate there, and then I also ate at this new place that I found out. It's called the Dragon Boat Grill. Ooh, way better than the cafe place. Way better. They had, their burgers were a lot tastier, their fries were a lot crispier, and their soda was Pepsi. So it's a win for me. So the Dragon Boat Grill gets 2 thumbs up from me. But you know, the other place does too. And then the coffee shop is still there. I found out the coffee shop is actually like the center. So that's kind of funny. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a little more off to the side, but I guess not. So I really don't have to talk about anything else. Staff was good. All the attendees were pretty good. There was a lot of cool cosplays. Everyone was nice. You know, things like that. There wasn't really anything bad. So again, I'm going to recommend this convention to literally everybody. The one bad thing shouldn't stop you from going. If you don't want autographs, it doesn't matter. Everything will be good for you then. Panels are good. We did attend one panel with Uptown Cosplay, who I actually kind of know, so that's pretty cool. We got to see them and Zaxel, who does Let's Plays, and it was a YouTube channel, like how to start a YouTube channel. And so I thought Atlas would have a good time in there because they might explain things better than I do. And he's trying to learn how to do YouTube. So he said he got a lot of good information from that. He got some good ideas, and he really liked it. So that's pretty awesome. So Uptown, if you happen to watch this, I don't even know if you're subscribed to me. I know we talked before, but yeah, if you ever watched this, it was a good panel. Thank you. That was the only one I attended. So there's that. The panel rooms are all nice and big. I like them. I like the size of them. They're not too crampy. I really enjoy that. And then we also did go to the rave this year. The rave was huge. Like, I knew these raves were big, but holy crap, this rave was just enormous. And I haven't been to the SakuraCon one yet because I don't normally go, but I'm going to do it for like footage and stuff. And I'm kind of intimidated by what SakuraCon's going to have because of just what this con had. SakuraCon has like twice the amount of attendees, maybe more than that. So I can only imagine what that rave is going to be like. But that's all for this review. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, maybe subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.